There's a submission from Allstate that I really loved, which was this idea that people aren't really documenting the things in their houses, and that leads to other issues. And so they created a mobile app that let you take a single photo and then provide you with a tagging interaction similar to tagging your friends on Facebook, where you can just tag your items in the app, and then that created an inventory. And I thought that was a really kind of clever adoption of a very kind of common practice on the consumer side to something that is a little more dreary when you think of like insurance. It's not as sexy, but.
And they nicely allowed, you didn't have to be an Allstate customer to use it, which I thought was nice.
Different this year about user search and the stuff that won from last year.
Well, I would say the bar went up. Like last year, there were definitely some entries for like, really, you know, next. And this year, like, it was really hard. Like as we said, we started off with, and now the touch awesome experience, right? Like, crikey, and then just went on from there, right? So it was really. I mean, there are a couple that you're like, okay, it should load, things like that, you know. But most of them were like really good, like you know, there was good design and you know, it was pretty good, easy to navigate. So you were really sort of going down to sometimes very subtle nuances to make some difficult choices. So that was it. So not only were there more entries, but they were mostly all good in some degree or fashion. So it was definitely tougher this year, and definitely you start seeing a little bit like the HBO app, and people sort of putting the feelers out, like trying to design across multiple platforms, and instead of just a browser or just an app. So I mean, I just imagine I would love to see that more submissions. Last year, just telegraphing submissions. Anyone next year, like really show more like what HBO did. Like it was the app and the talking billboard in Times Square and the browser and the fridge. Like really. If people I'd like to see more work on that, because that's where it's going. Like you're dividing an ecosystem end to end, and it all should be self-aware and seamlessly passing bits of information from place to place and device to device without skipping a beat. Like the HBO thing, like it remembered where you were and then just came right back. Like I want to see that in, you know, the phone comes right back. But if you turn it to the browser just pings the phone and picks the baton right up without blinking and says, you know, let's continue the interaction. So that's where I think it's going. We saw glimmers of that this year, but I'm suspecting that the entries next year will be like, it was a great app, and the rest of it was also awesome, and you know, it was worldwide, and you know, really, I see the scope sort of getting wider and wider and wider as we go forward.